Hey toy fans, I'm D21Beast and welcome back to my figure review series here on my YouTube channel. And today we're finally looking at some of those new Marvel Legends figures for 2015. In front of you here, we've got Hawkeye, part of the first Avengers line of Marvel Legends coming out this year, and he is part of the Odin's Son / King Thor Build-A-Figure wave. I've been really excited to get into the new 2015 Legends, guys. I just got this in the mail from Toys R Us. I'm excited to get to it, so let's get things started by taking a look at that packaging. As you come down the front of the box, you do have that Build-A-Figure Allfather wave logo in the upper left. You then have the logo for Marvel's The Avengers towards the center. You then have a window box packaging that does house this Hawkeye figure inside, as well as his accessories and his Build-A-Figure piece. We then have the logo for Marvel Legends Infinite Series, followed by the name for the figure there towards the bottom, Marvel's Hawkeye. Flipping this package around, as you come down the back of the box, you once again have that Marvel Legends logo in the upper left and the Avengers logo in the upper right. You've got a bio for Hawkeye. Go ahead and pause now to read that. As we come down the package, you do have an image of the figure displayed there in the center. We then have the logo for the Build-A-Figure Allfather wave one more time. We then have a complete lineup of all the other figures currently available in this wave, as well as an image of the Build-A-Figure, Odin, and King Thor. Alright guys, well that's the packaging. What say we get this Hawkeye figure out of the box and see what he's all about. Alright toy fans, so here we have Hawkeye out of the box, and I am really digging the way that this figure looks. He's a 50-50 reuse of Marvel Legends we've seen before, as well as some original pieces. His actual body is pretty much the Bucky Captain America or Archangel Marvel Legends mold that we've seen starting in about 2012. I believe the boots are actually reused from Captain America or Boomerang, one of those sort of figures. But he does have this original chainmail piece with the flap on the front like Hawkeye's used to having in the comics. He's also got a reuse here of the Winter Soldier figure from the Captain America or Marvel Legend Wave Winter Soldier figure from last year. Now, if you're not familiar with Hawkeye, he did first appear in Tales of Suspense number 57 in 1964. He was created by Don Heck and Stan Lee. Now, this particular image of Hawkeye, or this particular version of Hawkeye, is more in line with the way he looked in the 2000s. And actually, more specifically, this is the Dark Avengers version of Hawkeye when he was being impersonated by Bullseye. But it's not too dissimilar from the Hawkeye we got around Avengers Disassembled leading into House of M. So really, it's safe to say he's kind of a modern Hawkeye variant. Not the sleeveless sort of Hawkeye that we're used to seeing both in his first appearance and then in later issues of Avengers from the 60s and 70s and so on. I want to take a closer look at this Hawkeye figure and just kind of admire the head sculpt on this figure. I think it's done very, very nicely. I like the H in the center there on the forehead, just like Hawkeye used to have. I like this piping going back and how it's painted a different color from the rest of the cowl. The wingtips, I think, look really great on the face, and they're not too big. I think that's very in keeping with how Hawkeye's mask used to look. I like the expression on his face. It's not angry, it's not happy, it's just kind of a neutral, focused look, and I think that's great for the figure. And then there's some excellent sort of sculpting here on the chainmail around the shoulders. I like that they've reused this Winter Soldier arm. I think it's very natural looking as far as his armored up arm for shooting arrows. And then I really like what they've done with this belt piece here, this very definitive looking Hawkeye costume piece. It's got several different colors of paint on it, including the belt buckle. They could have made this all one solid color and they didn't, and I'm very happy that Hasbro, kind of went the extra mile on that. But then otherwise, the figure looks great. There's not a lot of paint variation on the legs or on the feet or even on the torso itself, but the colors that they've chosen to kind of accent or offset this center belt piece with the arm, I think all work together very well to have a very good looking figure. Hawkeye comes with all the accessories that you see here. The first one we'll look at is this Build-A-Figure piece. This is so you can assemble your Odin figure or your King Thor figure. Not a lot to say about that right now, but if I get the rest of these pieces, we'll look at that figure more in depth later on. Hawkeye also comes with this bow accessory here. It is sort of a modern bow, not traditionally what Hawkeye fires with, at least not in that costume. He typically has more of a wood style, classic looking Robin Hood-like bow, but I still think it looks pretty nice and it's sculpted in a decent enough purple plastic. And then he's got this quiver here that is also sort of in this purple plastic with the wingtips of the arrow painted silver, and I like that they've gone ahead and done that. There's a peg on the back of this object so you can stick it right into Hawkeye's back. Now because of the belt accessory he has, it doesn't stick as close to the figure as I would like. Sitting upright, it's actually more stationary and secure than it is if you angle it like a quiver typically is. So it may fall out while you're posing it, but you can just stick it right back in. And then this bow fits very nicely into the right or left hand of Hawkeye, but most of the action shots I see of Hawkeye, he's actually firing with his bow in his left hand. So let's go ahead and get this in his hand right here. Now, one thing to note about these accessories is they do appear to be reused, at the very least, from the movie Hawkeye figure. He's got the same bow, only it's black. His quiver is the same, except it doesn't have the arrow tips on the end of it. Now, there is a more modern style Hawkeye that's out there. I didn't actually manage to find him in stores. I know he has a quiver that has arrows on it, so I'm going to assume that this arrow quiver kit is the exact same as that more modern Hawkeye figure, just repainted. But if it's not, let me know in the comments below. Moving on to articulation, we see that this Hawkeye figure does have a ball-jointed head that looks down that far and back very far. It does rotate all the way around. He's got different arms on each side of the figure. There's a firmer plastic on this side and a softer plastic on this side. For that reason, the elbow joint's a little gummier and harder to move on that side than it is on this side when it's, pretty straightforward. Now, he does have shoulder joints on both sides that have a ratchet that'll rotate all the way around, and his arm will bend up and out from the body that far. There's also an upper bicep swivel, and then a wrist swivel that spins all the way around, and the hand will go back just a little bit and down very nicely on this side. And on this side, the hand actually moves back better, and then moves down even better. There we go. And he has an ab crunch. It is a bit hindered by his belt accessory. You can try to bend him forward about that far. It's going to be a bit stiff. And then bending back also bends, not so much. He has a waist articulation that's a bit hindered by the belt, but it will spin nicely. He's got a hip joint that allows his leg to move forward that far and move back that far. It will bend out from the body only about that far. He's got an upper thigh swivel that rotates all the way around, and then a double jointed knee that collapses nicely. He's got rotation at the boot, as well as having an ankle that'll bend down that far and up that far. And he has one of those great Hasbro ankle pivots. Height-wise, we can see that this Hawkeye figure does stand just a bit over 6 inches tall. For some size comparison, here he is once again compared to the Avengers movie Hawkeye figure. Nice shades. Here he is compared to the Marvel Legends Bullseye. Nice costume. Huh? Just for fun, here he is compared to the Elf Mikey figure. You know how to use that thing? Oh yeah, dude. I can fire arrows all day long. Haha, like a turtle do. And finally, here he is compared to the 6-inch scale Marvel Legends Infinite Series Wolverine. I hear you're dead now. I think I can help with that. I don't need your help. Alright, toy fans, well that's my review of the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Allfather Wave Hawkeye figure released by Hasbro in 2015. Overall, this is a must-get figure for your Marvel Legends collection. It's a really great representation of Hawkeye. I think I might even like it better than the Series 7 Hawkeye we got back in the day from Toy Biz. But he looks really great with any sort of Avengers wave you want to stick him with. He looks good with the classic Avengers, a more modern team, or even the Dark Avengers. Heck, I even enjoy posing him with some of ForceWorks. I can't wait to see what they do with the other Legends coming out this year. Definitely pick up this figure. Well, thanks for watching this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you saw here, please feel free to rate, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Hey, toy fans. Are you looking for a new TV show where you can catch up on all your geek, comic book, television, and movie news? Well, give Project Geek Week a try. I just started it with some of my friends, and we're having a blast doing it, and would love for you to check us out. Thanks for watching.